Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Creed 2. This was a film that was directed by Stephen Caple Jr. and stars Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Phyllis Rashad and Wood Harris. And it really is the continuation story of Adonis, Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, and him becoming the light heavyweight champion of the world, ultimately. And him trying to prove himself as a person and get out of his father's shadow and become the man and the boxer he really wants to. And it really looks at the relationship he has with Bianca, played by Tessa Thompson, how he becomes an expecting father. He seems on top of the world with all of this sort of stuff transpiring. And then he's offered an opportunity to take a fight fighting Victor Drago, which is Ivan Drago's son, played by Dolph Lundgren. Victor Drago is a mountain of a sort of fighter, a man quite violent and strong, and he's raised and trained in hate, and it's just, he comes up to an unmovable force. And things transpire where he's severely hurt, and then it's about him regaining his confidence, regaining his ability to step back in the ring and take Victor Drago on for one more time. And with the tutelage of Rocky Balboa, played brilliantly again by Sylvester Stallone, he's broken down and built back up in order to fight Drago in the way that he needs to. His old style doesn't match up to the power and the impact of the punches that Victor Drago can inflict on his opponent. Him going up against Victor Drago once more and proving himself. And he does this through a great classic Rocky montage. Look, I really liked this. I didn't know what to expect. I did like the first one. I didn't love it, but I did like it, and I really liked the Rocky Balboa Stallone scenes within it. But this sort of ups the ante a bit, and I think it was a very smart choice in doing the story around Ivan and Victor Drago, because that takes it back to Rocky IV, where Rocky Balboa fought Ivan Drago and won, and how Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed. I thought it was very clever in doing a sequel like this. It felt a lot like Rocky II, where Rocky's married and he's expecting a child or has a child, and he loses quite a lot and he has to overcome that. And this is another example of that. And taken in today's look at today's sort of fighting and boxing world and how different it is from when Rocky and Ivan and Apollo were boxers at the time. And I quite liked that. I liked the idea that it looked at three stories. It looked at Rocky Balboa's story, it looked at Adonis Creed's story, and it looked at Victor and Ivan Drago's story. And how when Rocky beat Ivan Drago, he lost everything. He was shunned by the Russian community that he came from, and he was disrespected. His wife left him, and life has been really difficult for him. He's sort of a shattered and broken man and very angry. And that's how he trains his son. He expects his son to help him get back into the limelight, so to speak, to have respect by the Russian people once more. And he pushes him really hard to do this. And the relationship between Ivan and Victor is really interesting to watch, and there's a lot of depth to both the characters that you don't quite expect, and I really like that aspect to it. I like Adonis Creed, Michael B. Jordan, you know, he's continuing to play Adonis Creed in such a great way. And it's really an arc of him trying to step out of his father's shadow and become the boxer he wants to be and leave his mark on his own terms. And also the relationship, the evolving relationship he has with Bianca, Tessa Thompson's character, and expecting a child, and how these things shape and affect him, and how this changes the way that he fights and why he gets into the ring, gives him purpose once more. But he also has a lot to lose if things go wrong. And I thought that was a great aspect as well. And I really loved the Rocky Balboa stuff. Stallone still plays him so brilliantly, and I really love the moments he has in this. And they really focus a lot on him in this one than they did in the first film. And they really sort of it arcs back to Rocky IV and Rocky Balboa, the last one they did before they went into the Creed films. And it sort of brings back that story. And I think there's been talk that Stallone isn't going to play the character anymore, he's retiring the character. And if he does, I don't know if he will, but if he does, this is a perfect way to leave it. They give him enough screen time, he has a bit of a resolution, it's about him overcoming these fears that he has and trying to live life again rather than being stuck in the past, letting things go and moving forward is what his sort of storyline's really about. And the relationship between Rocky and Adonis is fantastic, and I really like the interaction with Michael B. Jordan and Stallone. Their acting is brilliant, and they sort of form this real strong bond, and you really believe them. And you really believe Tessa Thompson's character, who's losing hearing but he's a great singer, and the relationship between her and Adonis is really fantastic. And I think Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson really capture that love story aspect to it. And I really like that. I've been really impressed with Michael B. Jordan along the way. He's starting to do really, really fantastic work and appearing in quite a lot. And he's proving himself. I like the way it's shot. I think Stephen Caple Jr. has done a really great job. And it looks really nice. There's some great shots. The boxing scenes are fantastic, the way they're shot. And you get a real sense of the world and these characters. And the emotion he's able to capture in particular scenes. It takes its time to build a story. It takes its time for us to learn more about the characters and the new characters we do meet. And it really expands this sort of world that he's created. And I think he's quite a good choice. The other aspect I really liked is this idea of, originally Stallone was going to direct this, but he decided he wanted a younger person, next generation person to direct it, and that's why they picked Stephen Caple Jr. because he's sort of a new generation. It's like this idea of Rocky Balboa passing it on to the next generation through Adonis Creed, and saying it's his journey now. You know, it's up to him to do what he wants to do, and it's really him trying to prove himself. And Rocky's sort of passing the torch to him. I thought that was really fantastically done. Stallone also serves as screenwriter, and I think whenever Stallone writes stuff, it's really good. I'm a huge fan of his, and a big fan of the Rocky franchise, and what he's been able to do, and how he had to fight to get the first film made. And he just wears this Rocky Balboa character like a nice leather jacket. It fits him perfectly, and he knows what's in each pocket and how long it's been around and what purpose it serves. And I think he really captures that character once more. He really feels like the character we first met in the first Rocky film. And he even has a little ball and the hat and the whole 9 yards, and he's so fantastic in it. And I'm really impressed with what he's able to accomplish here, and really impressed with what Stephen Caple Jr. is able to do directing this film, and made a really fantastic and fun, entertaining film with a lot of heart, and I was really impressed. And I must admit, this is the first time I've really felt Dolph Lundgren was great. Like, he really suited that character. It's the best acting I think I've ever seen him do, and he's really great as Ivan Drago, and he's brought a lot to it, and it's a very damaged character, but he brings such a great presence to that character, which I really, really loved. And you sort of feel for him in a way through what he's been through. And it's the same with Victor Drago. You really feel for that character. He's trying to please his father, but he's trying to help his father get sort of back on top. And it's just this great relationship. But Dolph Lundgren is a real surprise in this, and I was really impressed with him. Anyway, I could go on about Rocky Balboa and Creed forever, because it's such a great characters and great series and great concept. Anyway, final verdict. If you're a fan of the Rocky films, you'll really thoroughly enjoy this. If you like the first Creed, you'll really like this film as well, which I personally think this is a better film than the first film. If you're a fan of Stallone as well, you'll probably get a lot out of it. Look, I'm going to give this film 4.5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was entertained. I was sucked into the story. I thought the acting was really great. I loved the way it was shot, and I got quite a lot out of this film. I was really impressed with what I did see and what they were able to accomplish with this movie. And like I said, Michael B. Jordan's brilliant, but my favourite part was Stallone as Rocky Balboa. I'm going to put this on my top 10 of the year because I was really impressed with it. Anyway, that's all from me today. If you've enjoyed this video, or you enjoy my channel or any other videos on there and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down the bottom. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.